Okay, now that we got that out of the way, okay, you should be able to see my screen now.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Okay, so today is review and revision, correct?
Yeah,
Okay, so
kind of
let's
had some questions.
sure.
But yeah, we can go through and we can leave the questions for last.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go ahead and bounce through these real quick. So, was there a lot of changes?
No, I think most of everything was pretty straightforward.
Okay.
Everything that you guys had in regards to how certain things are done, they all line up pretty well with how we do things. So,
Mhm. Okay, this one here, I did need to ask you about outsourcing any processing,
hmm
such as do you outsource any heat treating or moly coating or anything like that?
yeah, we do outsource most of the finishing. We outsource. Heat treating
Okay.
is outsourced. Certain manufacturing processes like grinding, if it's like a big plate or something, we'll do that. We'll send it out.
Okay. And you don't have any property that actually belongs to the customer, either tooling or what we used to refer to as consigned material.
Yeah, no, we don't.
Okay, okay, so we'll leave that one. This one we will get rid of. There we go. Okay, let's pull that up a little. There we go. As I said before, you'll find out I am very obsessive compulsive. Okay. So this flow is okay as far as, being a real general kind of a view of is this good? This flow?
Oh, yes, yes, sorry.
Okay. So as far as just being a real general kind of a flow, this
Yeah, that lines up pretty well with how we do things.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's start right here. Okay.
Nope.
Let's try that again. Okay. So can just highlight that. So on here, we got to drop the office off of here.
Yeah.
Okay. So are we adding on here, on containers or stock following job?
So I guess that was my question for that one is, so the output is a traveler. The traveler is either on containers, whether it's, the job is in a container, right? Or it
Mm-hmm.
follows the job. So
Okay,
is attached to the
then,
job.
okay, then that is correct then. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was a typo. Inventory will be updated and required to account for
Yeah, it
conforming.
sure
Yep.
doesn't make sense the other way, does it?
Yeah.
That's what happens when you get in a hurry.
Right, right. Yeah, I don't know if is instead of in some cases.
Okay. Any other questions on this one?
Let me see. This is the processing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this one is fine.
Okay.
I think yeah, I think I put some in the notes to clarify some points on certain ones, but I think for this one
Oh,
is
okay.
pretty straightforward, yeah.
Yeah, that is the end of it. Okay. Okay. So go ahead and off and unhighlight that. And we'll move on to receiving here. Okay. So equipment inventory program, which could be as simple as a sheet that just what equipment you have in house that you're using.
Okay. Okay, let me
I
write that
think
down real
your
quick.
equipment, yeah, your equipment inventory program or sheet or whatever,
Would
and your
would a
maintenance program can be the same thing.
okay. Okay, because for equipment inventory, we do have a capability statement, but that is more of a not necessarily a sheet. Well, I guess it is a sheet, but it shows a list of our equipment that we have on hand.
Oh, okay. What do you call it?
Capability statement.
Ah, okay.
I don't know if that would qualify as
Actually, yeah. If it has a list of the equipment, then yes, it does.
okay.
And okay, now what about maintenance? Preventive maintenance, scheduled maintenance.
Yeah, let me pull up our maintenance and see where we have it.
Do a lot of stuff on Microsoft Access.
Yeah, most of everything that we have, as far as our day-to-day stuff, it all comes out of Microsoft Access.
Yeah. Does Microsoft even have Access anymore? I seem to remember that from back in the day, and I remember it was kind of a pain in the tuchus to work with.
Yeah, it's luckily we had a guy who was working with us and he's the one that developed the Microsoft Access and he made it very very good, very easy for us to, operate out of.
Uh,
Um yeah, it took him a while to create, but it's kind of like
oh, I
our
believe it.
our ERP system per se, but it's not
Yeah.
as nice as some of the ones that you can get out there, but yeah.
Yeah, as long as it works. Okay. So what are we calling the maintenance
Yeah.
program?
Give me
Oop.
1 second. Yeah, so that one's gonna be in our Aerotech S drive.
Oop.
And then from there, it pages over into Tech Docs. And it'll be in our machine logs.
Okay. Receiving table incoming POs. Okay. Okay, so you actually put a hard copy out, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, we did that up here. Copy those and drag them on down here. There we go. Material. So you guys keeping busy over there?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's good.
And if I remember correctly, you told me to leave names out, right? Out of the
Right. Yeah, we
Yeah.
want to use
titles.
titles, yeah, because people move.
Right.
As they should. Sideways or up or out or whatever.
Right.
Somebody read through this pretty thoroughly.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to make sure I covered all the bases, and it works. It works too because then you're also getting familiar with kind of what you guys are expecting. So
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we can close out receiving. There, and we're on to shipping.
I had a question. For pick list, is that the same as like a packing list?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Because yeah, you see there, I put Microsoft Access, create new packing slip.
yeah. It's just it's one of those terms that we've used forever, you know,
Right.
as a pick list, and I just actually just put in there. I mean, we could actually change that if you want to.
Pick list is fine because it calls it a pick list throughout all of the management system as well. So it would be a lot to change. As long as we're on the same page that a packing slip and a pick list is the
Okay.
same. And I think that's why I wrote clarify on that
Okay.
bottom one right there down there.
Okay. Let's see. Let's just copy that. Drag it down here. Okay, but the pick or the packing list slip actually still resides on Microsoft Access, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. So just leave it like that. Okay.
I
Okay.
put
So
on there completed POs because when we're shipping, typically it's because
Mhm.
the order is complete.
Okay. Now that traveler, it comes off of the material
Yeah, once it's all complete, once everything's done,
and it gets turned
everything
into the ship or
from shipping turns it into a front office admin who then scans it into the
okay.
completed POs.
Okay. So let's oop, just clarify that for my own sake. So that typically the that arrow usually means that it's a directory. So
Oh,
shipping
okay.
to front office and scanned into completed PO. Okay.
And there's that. Yeah, there's the question down there at the very bottom. Pick list versus packing slip differences. But yeah,
Okay. Where? Oh, there it is. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Let's just something here real quick. See how many we would have to change. This pick list. It's not a lot of places to change it.
I mean, if you want, yeah, we can change it to packing.
Okay.
I didn't know it was that easy for you to find and replace.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice. Man, technology has come.
Oh yeah. We have to give Kim a lot of credit for this. She worked with well, actually this was originally called Team Labs. And we got into it when it was a beta. And she made a lot of recommendations that they actually took and went with, like the search, the save as function and stuff like that. So okay. Now we got the nomenclature all straightened out on there. Okay. And we're patiently waiting. We'll just hit reload. There we go. Still trying to get used to the placement of this touchpad on here. They have it moved over to the left side, and I'm so used to it being right in the center. I'm always clicking on the wrong thing. Actually, on this one, the document manager, who is the head of the company that's there all the time?
Oh, okay, in that case, it would be the CEO.
Okay. Yeah, because typically in emergency management, it's usually the big guy, you know, because he would be the one that would be legally responsible.
Right. Yeah, we'll let him take care of that.
There you go. Okay.
I added those names
Yeah.
there. Um,
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's fine.
okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
1.1 and 1.2 is the same.
Well, that's just to make sure you do it.
Yeah. really,
That's not that
really,
important.
yeah, really
Yeah.
focusing that fact. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you sure you did it?
Yeah.
Like I said, it is not an absolute requirement of either the 9001 or AS 9100, but we're finding more and more states are requiring companies to have these.
Uh-huh.
And it's also a good idea because if something does go wrong, I had a friend of mine that was an attorney. He said, anytime you're in business, he says, it's not a matter of if you're going to get sued, it's a matter of when you're going to get sued. Everybody in business gets sued.
Yeah.
So this can, in the case of an emergency or something like this can relieve a lot of liability because you have a plan in place.
Okay.
Okay, so we can just take that right out. So am I assuming that the red dots are the
Yeah, extinguishers. Yeah.
extinguishers? Okay. Now, what about your main shut off? Oh, there's your electrical panel. Okay.
Yeah. Main shut off and everything is outside.
Okay. On the building or
No, it's
on that
outside by the
suite?
on the street.
Oh, on the street. Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's out a ways.
Okay. So let's just put a note in there. What street would that be?
Isabel. Isabelle Street.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then at the very bottom, I added the note that I added the shop layout
Oh, there
or
it is.
the layout and evacuation routes.
guys don't get a lot of tornadoes in your neck of the woods, do you?
No, we
Yeah.
got one, and it was a big enough tornado that it flipped over a car at the community college, and then
Oh.
it left. I don't know what that person did to piss God off that day.
Yeah.
But
Oh, well, I live up here in Michigan. We get our fair share of them.
yeah.
In fact, a few years, right about in September, well, October, uh, during Sukkot, we had our sukkah built up in the yard. We had a tornado. I mean, that late in the year, and it came down the street, hit a couple of hit houses across the street from us, jumped over my house,
Oh wow.
and landed on the street behind us. It was just crazy. We got real lucky on that one. I'm also a ham operator, so I keep track of those. Like sometimes they call it Skywarn or the Amateur Radio Emergency Service, so I
Uh-huh.
can track those things. But they're fascinating. I used to run around with a storm chaser.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he was a ham radio operator too. He was part of the Skywarn program, and I used to, when inclement weather came, I would kind of hang with him, and we would run down storms. Exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Stupid, but exciting.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of the same way, when it comes to like thunderstorms and stuff like that, we're always trying to see where we can go to see the best thunder.
I'll tell you, the best place I have ever been to watch a storm was on Lake Michigan. Watching the storms come across from Chicago.
Uh-huh.
That is just amazing. Because you can see it coming from miles away. The thunderheads and the lightning and the rain and the thunder and everything. It's just really neat stuff.
What do you sense that order is gonna be done tomorrow? The order, I think we
Wife
asked,
thinks I'm crazy.
start
But
Yeah.
yeah, she might
Yeah.
be right. Yeah.
My wife feels the exact same way, whenever thunderstorms are rolling through, it's like, oh, we don't really get these that often. Let's go somewhere cool to see it. She's like, no, we're gonna get struck by lightning. I'm like, well, if it happens, it happens.
Okay. Good on that. Looks like. And on to security.
ahorita acaban de hacer una saquera ya de stock. Dieron un request para quote y ahorita se vuelve.
Okay, so when you issue now, when we're talking about codes, we're talking about like door codes
Okay.
or key cards and hard keys.
Okay.
So how do you track who has what?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we don't really necessarily have a way that we track. We just know that we have it. Yeah. Do we need to come up with a way to track?
You do, because specifically because of the AS9100, and they do have some, depending on what you're doing, if you start getting into DoD work and stuff like that, then that's a whole other animal, and you got to be very careful about when you start getting into certain areas of that, they may require that all of their stuff be under a 24-hour camera watch.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I can go through and I can make a sheet or a spreadsheet or something that'll contain the codes, keys,
Okay.
who has it.
So what are we going to call that?
So we can put it. It'll go in our Aerotech S drive. And then it'll probably reside in the front office files. And then we'll call it codes and keys issued. And that folder is gonna be restricted to front office admin
Yeah.
and CEO only.
Okay. Good. And we'll just put that on there. I know I misspelled it. Okay.
So I guess, and for this procedure as well, it would probably just be the CEO then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. The way I figure it is, who gets yelled at if it's wrong?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like getting yelled at, so we'll just let him take the blame.
It's been relatively painless so far.
Okay,
Okay. So if I saw, typically get 3 quotes, right?
right.
And then it gets, somebody gets selected from those. So from those 3. So where do you keep those quotes?
That would go attached to the purchase order. Typically, whenever we start a new purchase order, we create a new folder for it, right?
Oop,
And then
yeah.
all the supporting documents, whether that's purchase orders for materials, for certs, or material certs, buyouts and stuff like that, all of that gets scanned in. So yeah, it'll go into Microsoft
Okay.
Access as well.
Okay, Microsoft Access, and this is the same as the,
Yeah, purchase orders.
yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, that's something I added in there. So the standard actually says that you're ultimately responsible for everything that happens in the facility.
Right.
Well, if you have a supplier come in and screws up and does something, that's why I put that in there. You know, if they do something, they're going to be held responsible. So that way they can't come back and say, well, your standard says,
Yeah. Kind of covering our butt.
yeah. Yeah, I try to put things in here to protect protect our clients as much as we can. Okay. I said every time I get in a meeting, everybody decides they want to talk to me now. They've had all morning to talk to me. Okay. We've hit everything on here. Okay, let's go back here. Now you wanted to take a look at the
Well, we
risk
can jump
assessment.
over to the legal and other requirements because I went ahead and
Okay.
completed that as well. The legal other requirement matrix.
Oh, okay. Okay, so pre-treatment records, you're not really doing anything that has to be pre-treated. You're not
Right.
discharging or anything like that. You want to
Correct.
keep it in there?
Yeah. Yeah. Just because I know in the past it's been an issue in other shops. Although
Uh-huh.
we're currently haven't had to do any of this. I know
Okay.
in other shops here around is they'll come out every
Yeah.
once in a they've come out in the past and been like, hey, we're getting something in the runoff water or something. You gotta test
Yeah.
your stuff and keep records. As of right now, like I said, what we discharge or wastewater, like yeah, we don't have to deal with any of that. I know at the last shop I was at, we had a chip bin that was outside
Oh yeah.
and water would fall on it, get the chips wet, coolant would
Mm-hmm.
start running out, and then it became a whole ordeal for them. But we don't store our recycled chips. We don't store them. We keep them inside, and we send them out for recycling, and they handle the rest. So as of right now, this doesn't apply, but I could see it where it could apply to us at
Okay.
some
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. It's a good point. It's a good point. I actually had a client that actually, EPA got fined them. Basically,
Yeah.
they had their chips out in the yard, and the material that they were using, the chips were highly toxic.
Oh wow.
And it was raining. They actually made them build a dam around it.
What?
Yep. So if it got rained on and it started flowing out of the bottom, then they had a retention area for it.
Wow.
Yeah, stuff was pretty nasty stuff though. I can't even remember what it was. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, for most of this, I put Oregon OSHA just because they're the ones that
Hmm.
oversee
Right.
all this stuff.
Yeah, it rolls down to the state. Yeah. Okay. Fire prevention. That would be that would be your local fire department, wouldn't it?
I believe so. I think that's why. Fire
Yeah.
prevention plans, written fire prevention plan employees with more than 10 employees. I must have forgot to fill that one in. Yeah, that would be our local fire
Oh,
department.
the fire chief, right?
Yeah.
Chief. What was the name of the city again?
Eugene.
Hey. Okay. I better put city on there, or somebody will think that it's the fire chief's name is Eugene.
Eugene.
Yeah, confined entry is basically. We see it a lot in steel stamping,
Okay.
where they have what they call press pits,
Oh,
where
okay.
the where the steel comes off of the coil and then it goes down into a pit that keeps the keeps the feeder from putting pressure on the decoiler.
Okay.
So, and those things are really hazardous as all get out. You have to wear a mask and a respirator and everything in there because the stuff that's on the steel actually sucks all the oxygen out of the air.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we actually had a guy get killed at General Motors going into one of those without his respirator.
Jeez.
Oh, I've seen some horrendous stuff at General Motors. I've seen guys with their arms up to their elbows in a closed press. Hmm. Seen some pretty nasty stuff. Yeah, it was the largest stamping plant in North America.
Yeah.
Okay. Looks good. And again, I remind you that you know, you should have this confirmed by a third party.
Yes. Yes. And yeah, I have it here on my note to contact. We're gonna start with our insurance company and see what they have
Right.
to offer. From there, I'll reach out to the SBA and see what they have to offer. If the insurance company doesn't have something, or maybe they're gonna send us to them.
Right.
Who knows?
Yeah. Okay. So
Under going back to legal requirements real
oh, yep.
fast. Under there, I have so it seems like our registry for our business, is that kind of what you guys were looking for, the business registry?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and then I included there at the very last our SAM registry as well because we are registered with them as a business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if that also falls under the business license and permits.
What is the SAM registry?
That's basically the system for award management for doing work with like the government and stuff like that. Being
Okay,
able to
then yeah,
bid
this is the
onto.
right place for it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so it looks good. Now the other requirements again. I don't know if you're gonna go with Perry Johnson or if you're gonna go with somebody else.
Yeah, we'll be going with Perry Johnson.
Okay, then we're good on this. And you don't have any universal requirements, such as like I was saying, the universal tagging system and stuff like that. You're not under that. At least that we know of.
Right.
And even if it was an aerospace thing, it wouldn't be applicable to other things. So it wouldn't go on here. It would be part of the contract.
Okay.
Okay. So, and then once you get that third party approval on that, then you'll fill in the rest of this.
Okay.
Okay.
So everything looks good there then?
Looks good.
Cool.
Looks better than a lot of my clients. Okay, let's see. Let's go to these
Completed
unique
workbooks.
Yeah.
The hairy
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I have two there for advanced planning, right? So advanced planning,
Uh-huh.
general machining. I that's the first one I started. I started that one not really fully understanding, and as I started getting through, I started kind of putting two and two together and saying, okay, I think advanced planning is going to apply more specifically to a specific job, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then that's where I kind of stopped that top one, advanced planning, general machining, and I jumped down to AP job number 2504.
Okay.
And that is now applied to a specific job that we have completed. So kind of if you use this one and it looks good, then I kind of understand now where AP or how AP is filled out.
Okay. Not finished though yet, huh?
Unless I stopped it.
See a
huh?
lot of blanks. I'm on EHS evaluation.
Okay, then probably because it's not finished. Oh, wrong one.
Okay. Yeah, let's go to process design. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you were at the very
Number
end.
2.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So if we start from, I guess from intro and just work our way back down the list there.
Boy, you found a lot of things to do, huh? Okay, just as a note, when you have just a simple thing like this,
Uh-huh.
just a one line, there's nothing else, you can put it right in that box. You don't have to put it as an action item.
Okay.
So, and I'll, yeah, it's fine as it is right now.
Okay.
But just keep that, in your back pocket for the next time that you can just put the action right in here if it's a simple action. If it's
Okay.
something that's going to take multiple steps and going to require multiple people to be involved in it, then I would say, yeah, then give it a number and then put it in the action items.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it looks good. So the question is, are we keeping this or getting rid of it?
So seeing how advanced planning applies to a specific job, I would say then we would have to get rid of it, correct? Because
Okay.
that's kind of just, machining in general as a whole is kind of how I had understood
Yeah.
it at first. Um, but yeah, I would say we can get rid of that one then.
Yeah. Okay. Let's look at the multi-axis lathe. Good. Okay, so since you're retrieve material and traveler from the holding area,
Uh-huh.
is there the possibility that the material wouldn't be there?
I mean, I guess that would be a possibility, but the holding area would be the work in process area, and typically everything that's there, it's all there per se. For
All
once we're
been allocated.
once we're machining, because this is the risk-based assessment for the
Okay.
machining.
Yeah.
Shipping and receiving, I think, might specify that.
Okay. Okay. Gotta ask the questions.
No worries. I want you to ask. I want you to question everything I did and make sure that I'm understanding it correct.
Program. I mean, you know, you can get ridiculous with these things too.
Yeah, and
You
that's
go,
kind of
you can go to, you know, reductio ad absurdum. You know,
yeah, and that's kind of what I was trying to, on some of these, it's like, well, one thing that I was having a hard time is seeing how the impact is on the environment. And I was like, I really don't know how I can impact the environment by not doing some, or like a potential issue that would then lead to an impact on environment. Like I think the
well,
worst
let's say
case
like a,
scenario is
you lost a coolant line,
okay.
okay, and you started spraying coolant on the floor. That would be an environmental issue. Now, it may not be a toxic thing, but it's still an environmental issue, along
Okay.
with being a slip, trip, and fall hazard.
Okay.
But anything that
Because there's, if we were really to go down that rabbit hole of potential issues, is there's a plethora of potential issues with everything. So it's like
oh yeah,
I'd be here a while trying to play every possible scenario, and it's like, I don't know if that's what you're looking for. How detailed, I guess, how
or
in depth you want me to go.
okay, you're not building aircraft.
Right.
Okay. I think I mentioned this before. You know, I used to do these for aerospace, and we were dealing with aircraft. So, like I said, the shortest one I ever did was like 130, 160 pages long, and it was just how to remove the wing from an F-16 aircraft and prep it for paint. But again, you know, we used to have a saying: when you count your defects, you count your defects in body bags.
Ugh.
So many redundant systems. Everything had to be done perfectly, you know, torque specs and stuff like that. Where, well, what happens if you over torque it? What happens if you under torque it? You know, and stuff like that. All of that stuff had to be concluded. You're not at that level. you know.
Right.
So yeah, you don't need to say you're on the right track. I mean, you're hitting the most common things.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was looking or thinking about was, okay, what's the most likely thing that's going to happen? Because there's things that are likely and there's other things that are unlikely. And I was like, well, I'll just write down the most likely thing, and if he needs
Yeah,
more information for those, then or more possible scenarios, then I can always do that.
yeah. Well, there's possibilities and there's probabilities. You know,
Yeah.
we want to hit the big probabilities.
Okay.
Possibilities you could go ad infinitum.
Yeah. It's like, oh, one machine drew too much power, blew up the
Oh
transformer,
yeah.
caused the fire, or something. I don't know.
Oh, exactly. Exactly. It blew out a bus bar. You know, put down 6 machines. You know, used to do that at General Motors quite a bit.
Yeah, we had one of our machines freak out when the thunder was rolling through and got an alarm for an overload on electrical or something like that. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
never seen that before, but sorry, we got transformers and stuff in place.
Okay. No, I think you got it. I think you're right on track here. Okay, let's take controls. Okay, so each one of these things in here is going to have a job description.
Correct.
Everybody has to have a job description. Everybody, right down to the janitor, has to have a job description.
Right.
Okay, so you're going to have a job description for your machinist. You have in the system. Go
Yeah, I
back
saw there was
here.
a section for job descriptions.
Yeah, it's in operational procedures. There is
Yeah,
or is it in administrative?
I think it's an administrative.
All right. Okay. So every classification will need to have a job description. And then when
Yeah.
you once you get those job descriptions in, then you're going to put the job description, the
Number.
actual title of the job description in there. Number, title, acronym, whatever you want to use.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that and I was gonna get started because I have those already written out, the job descriptions and what
Okay.
kind of but I went under it and it said it was locked or something. So I kind of
Oh,
figured
that's
that
well,
I
the
kind of
reason it's locked, the
uh-huh.
reason it's locked, and you'll see that on a lot of the forums, is because you got people around that are like me, will pull up a blank document and start typing on it. You know,
Okay.
so what she does is she locks it so that you have to save it somewhere else or
As a
save it
copy.
under a different title.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you
yeah,
don't override the blank one. Okay.
yeah. The only problem is with that is that if you are a administrator,
Uh-huh.
you can get around the lock. You know?
Yeah. Okay. So
You
I
just
guess I
start
can
typing on there, and then Kim calls and yells at you, and then you have to beg forgiveness and go in and fix it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then in that case, yeah, I kind of figured it was locked. I thought it was locked because it was something that we were gonna go over down the road. But with that in mind, I can go back and I can start creating those job descriptions.
Yeah, okay. And then the job description in there basically has an outline on there of what you need to have in it.
Yep.
So, okay, quality checks.
So this is a confirmation. Where did we send the request? So that's the request. This is the request, right? For the 20 pieces.
Okay, so looks good. Okay, don't forget to fill the revision table in.
So in this case, since I did changes to it, what would I put there
Well,
in the revision level? Or
okay. Well, because you haven't officially released it yet,
Mhm.
you can make as many changes as you want.
Okay.
So until you actually finish it and get all these things filled in, if you make a change after that, then you would log it.
Okay.
And like I said, logging this can be as simple as, sheet revise RBA line 20.
Okay.
And then just a real brief description of it, because basically all we're looking for on here is a pointer to where the change was made.
Correct.
Okay.
But for the most part, RBAC looks like it was filled out properly, understood
Yeah.
properly. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, looks good.
Okay. And kind of like you mentioned, I did create one for the milling as well as the multi-axis, lathe. But for the most part, it's pretty much the same from one to the other. The processes
Right.
are
Yeah.
the
That's what I
same.
say.
Yeah.
Do them as families. What goes wrong with one is going to go wrong with the other. So it's not.
Correct.
Why create a bunch of them when they're basically just going to be copy and paste from the other ones?
Right.
Anything else we need to look at?
Okay, for advanced planning, if we go under the advanced planning, so we can go, completed workbooks, and go back into that advanced planning.
Okay.
There's a bottom section called process design.
Oh, this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Process design. Okay.
Oh, that's weird.
It's the process design is basically when you have several operations. That's your whip. So you're going to design. It's a little more applicable to a like a manufacturing operation for well, like let's say a stamping operation.
Mhm.
You know, I've got a form die, and then it goes to a trim die, and then it goes to another form die, then it goes to a a punch die, and so on and so forth. You know, or something like like a welding operation or something like that. You know, where there's several stages of it, and you're basically designing how that is actually going to flow through.
Okay.
You've seen like those big presses that have multiple dies in them,
Yeah.
like that, because each die does a different thing, but it progresses as it goes along.
Right.
Yeah, that would be a process design. The process design is, okay, we have the feeder, then we have die number 1, die number 2, and so on and so forth.
Okay. I think I pointed you in the wrong direction though. Under engineering changes, the information on the very top, the header, it doesn't update with our information.
The
If you go down into
engineering change
the
notice.
tab, yeah. If you go on the very bottom, the red tab,
Yeah, let me
engineering changes.
get back over there. I just decided to walk away from it.
No worries, no worries.
Sometimes I have to walk around to think.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Yeah. So the header,
Okay.
see how it says company name?
Uh-huh. Oh. Huh.
Whereas all the other ones update automatically as I input it into the intro tab. This one, I think, is probably not communicating with that one, it seems like.
Yeah, I just gotta link to internal data range. And I want that to go to the intro. And that is on. Come on. Oh, you're gonna do that, aren't you? Yeah, yeah. Okay. So that's gonna be B12. Okay. B12. Okay.
Oh, I did something
Oh.
weird over there.
That was right. Didn't change. Yeah, I don't know why it's not. No, it's going over the intro, but that's not what I wanted to do. Intro. Okay. This over here. Whoop. We'll just cheat.
Huh.
Why is it doing that? I have to ask him about that.
Yeah.
Leave it blank for now, I guess. Let's see. I will just cheat for now. Is that like any of the other ones? Oh, did that
No,
one.
it did that. Yeah,
Okay. Well,
it was
let's.
just for that. It was just for that sheet.
Okay. There we go. Okay. Now we got it. There. Fixed.
Yeah, I just didn't know if there was something to do on the back end where, whereas all the other tabs, it automatically fills all of those in with the project process name, project
Yeah,
manager.
just must have just gotten missed somewhere along the line. Is that the same with the project? Job number 15. Okay. Right here. Okay, so we're just gonna grab these two. Want the formula. There.
Okay.
Okay. So same thing here. Gotta love copy and paste, huh?
Yeah.
Oop.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Oh, for only one?
There we go. Okay, all is right with the world.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Okay. We still got some time. How's your time?
I'm good. I'm good on time.
Okay. If you
So,
want to, we can go through the implementation rollout session right now.
okay, I have one more question. As
Sure.
far as engineering changes and design, even though we don't do any of that in-house,
Mhm.
is that still something that needs to be like,
Oh, yeah.
this section right here?
Yeah, because well, if you look at the engineering change notice, it actually tells you where the change originated at.
Okay.
And the approvals when you get it. And things like, what do I do with what I have on hand? You know,
Right.
do I scrap it? Do I run out everything that I have? When does the change go into you know become active?
Yeah.
So yeah, those things are, and again, you just NA what's not applicable.
Okay. Yeah, because I ended up NAing a lot of it, so it's like, well, is it even needed?
Yeah,
But
because
yeah.
sometimes some changes come from the customer. Sometimes you guys will initiate changes because you'll say, oh, this will work better if you do this.
Yeah, save you some money. Yeah.
Yeah, or just function better.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So if we go into the program, back into the program enrollment kit and the AIM program timeline.
Yeah, that's one thing I haven't updated in a while.
Yeah, probably a good idea. I mean, basically, it's a project tracking tool. So when you get into the audit, auditors talking about continual improvement. One thing we found auditing over the years is that companies do a lot of really good things as far as continually improving,
Uh-huh.
but they don't document it. And if you don't document it, you don't get credit for it. And
Okay.
what better continual improvement project can you involve yourself in than to put a management system in place?
Right.
So this serves as objective evidence that that you're engaging in continual improvement. So what we're going to concentrate on here is over here on this rollout timeline and the rollout timeline details. So the first thing we're going to do, let's shrink that down a little bit. Actually, see it. We're going to get rid of all this. All of that. There we go. Okay, so at this point, technically, the system is finished. And now we got to determine when are we going to start rolling this out? When are we actually going to start, operating with it? So, what are you thinking for a rollout date? When we're actually going to start the rollout, which includes all of this stuff.
Right.
So, like completing the workbooks and matrices and SOPs, job descriptions, and all that stuff. What I
Yeah.
said when we're figuring out timelines out here, because we need to put a date in here. Let's just for the exercise. Let's put in. Let's say. Well, that's handy to have that right there in front of me. There. Okay. Let's say Monday the 8th. Okay. So you can see all the dates automatically filled in. Now you can change that date as you go along. You can actually change it.
Okay.
Okay. So what we're looking for now is how long is it going to take to get each one of these things done? And when is it going to start? When is it going to finish? And what I say is that when you're doing this, always be conservative in your timeline. If you think it's going to take you 2 weeks, schedule it for 3. Better to come in ahead of schedule than behind, right?
Right.
Okay, so the matrices, which you have to have the third party to look at, and your workbooks, your APs and your RBACs. Okay, so how long is that going to take to get those all finished? And again, this can change as you're going along. Okay, it's not written in stone. It's supposed to be a way for you to determine where are we at? Are we behind schedule? Are we ahead of schedule? Can we move things up? Do we need to move things back and so on?
Okay.
So if you were going to do a shot in the dark, how long it was going to take to complete the matrices and the workbooks, what would you say?
So complete the workbooks that I have already completed as of right now, and then the ones that I still need to complete.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, seeing how I'm not super busy right now, yeah, I could definitely have that done within the week.
Okay,
Yeah,
Again,
9/15. I
still
mean, if
have
we were
to-
going off of the 9/8 date, I mean, it depends on how long it's gonna take the insurance to get back to us about.
exactly.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
would say if you think it's gonna take a week, their priorities aren't the same as yours.
correct.
I would give myself 4 weeks. Just because the insurance company is, you know, if it's not the insurance company, then you're gonna have to get a hold of SBA.
Okay.
So be conservative. So standard colors here. Okay. Okay, so we already talked about the legal and other requirements. Actually, if we're just talking about just the workbooks, and you said you could probably get those done in a week. Let's make that 2 weeks, and then we'll just identify the legal and other documents. We can put that for 4, just in case they drag their feet on it.
Right.
Okay. Complete the SOPs and instructions. Now, these all don't need to start on the same date. In fact, they won't once we get down here a little farther. But
The SOPs. So the SOPs are the ones that are already created that we have, or like instructions. For instance, would the job traveler qualify as instructions?
well, the instructions are basically they're mainly administrative functions, such as how do I get into the the purchasing program and put in a purchase request.
Okay.
That you would have an instruction for. Now, not everything needs an instruction.
Okay.
SOPs are related directly to your manufacturing. So you already have SOPs, correct?
Internally, yes. With this one, I do not believe so. I don't think we've gone over
The
SOPs
resources?
here. No. Yeah, I don't think I uploaded one. That's the training records.
Tech purchase. Okay. Okay, but you do have SOPs.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the requirement for an SOP. It has to have a unique identifier. It has to have a revision date and a revision level. And it
Okay.
has to be authorized. Okay. If it hits all 4 of those, you can use what you got right now.
Okay, give me 1
So
second.
do you have one that you could put up and show me?
Give me 1 minute. Let's see here.
Oh, excuse me.
We have our prevention of counterfeit parts. But it's not really an SOP per se. You're in the resource folder, right? All right, I just uploaded that guy right there. And this would fall under production, producing, making, manufacturing. You still there, Mark? Hold on. I think I lost you. I can't hear anything.
Yeah.
Did you mute your mic, Mark, by chance? Because I'm not hearing anything. No. Hmm.
Can you hear me now? Hello? Hello, hello? Test, test, test.
Test, test, test. Hello, test. You can hear me now? No, I'm not hearing you. Let's see. It's not muted. I'm going to try to mute you on my end and unmute you.
Hello?
There you are. Okay,
You got me?
I got you.
Okay. Oh, that was weird.
Yeah, it was.
Okie dokie.
Okay. So, I
Yeah.
said what you have there it is. Yeah, it fulfills all the requirements. You can use that as is. You don't have to put it in our format. You can just basically upload it into the SOP file and you're good.
Okay, so QMSP 8.5 is good for SOP. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Anything like you said it conforms, it's good then? It has all the good proper signatures and
Right. It
identifiers.
It has a unique identifier. It has a revision level, a revision table, and it's got a sign off on it. So you have your approvals. So
Okay.
you've hit the big four. So that'll make your life easier. You don't have to put it into our format.
Okay.
Okay. So let's see. And close that. Get some of this stuff closed out of the way here. Okay. So SOPs and instructions. How long do you think that's going to take?
Seeing how we have some stuff already in place, I just have to gather it, upload it into the portal. Yeah, that shouldn't take too long either. A couple of weeks at most. I mean, a week at
Okay.
most, but we can call it a couple of weeks.
Okay. Now you got to have your job descriptions.
Yeah, that's gonna be the one that is gonna take a little bit of time.
Okay.
Yeah, I could do that. I mean, yeah,
You're going to have to.
yeah, yeah, we can put 3 weeks on that.
You know, one of the best ways I've found to do job descriptions is have the guys that are actually doing it write their job description, and then you basically just have to wordsmith it.
Right.
You know, use your resources. You know, don't try to do everything yourself.
Okay.
Okay, so once these are done, then we go into training. Okay, training. You have a procedure for training and competence.
Correct.
Okay. And in there is a workbook that goes into that, which is go back here. Go back to the rooms. There we go. Okay, we go into tech tools, into the forms, and it says TCM, Training and Competence Matrix. People only need to be trained in what's relevant to them. Okay.
Okay.
So what you're going to do is you're going to take all the employees, you're going to put their name on here, you know, and just give me somebody on the floor. Anybody.
We can put me. Just my name, I guess.
No. Because you're going to be on everything.
Right. Okay, sure. Let's do Sergio. Sergio Martinez.
Easy.
Yeah, easy.
Okay. Okay. So, what does Sergio do?
He is the lead CNC mill guy.
Okay. Does he need to be trained in the manual?
Yes, he does. I think
Yes, he
everybody
does.
needs to be trained on the manual, right?
Exactly. So what we do is we put an R in here. That means they're required. That's training is required.
Okay.
When you go into the procedure, it'll tell you that, well, once the training has been completed, it gets this designation, and then once you've determined competency, it's going to have another designation on there. So,
Okay.
training and the quality policy.
Yep.
Yep, everybody's got to be trained in the quality policy. Oop, what did I do? This thing is doing crazy things. Okay. Is he going to be involved in advanced planning?
No.
Okay. So we just leave it blank. Is he going to be
No.
involved in change control? No. Identification of legal and other requirements?
No.
Yeah. The RBAC?
Developing the risk. So I do have him as a person on there because on there it's I think in the very front of RBAC, it states let me see here. It said something.
The teams?
Yeah.
Well, because the RBAC has the control plan in it, then everybody who has anything to do with manufacturing is going to have to be trained in that RBAC.
Okay. Yeah. So in this
Essentially,
case,
if
it
the
does.
RBAC is done correctly, you could basically run the area with just or you could run that operation with the RBAC by itself.
Okay.
Okay, so you got to be doing calibrations.
No.
Okay. Configuration management?
No.
Probably not. You know, control of non-conforming material. You know, if they're
Yes.
out there, they probably going to be that. So you can see what I'm talking about. You're just
yeah,
going to
yeah.
put the person's name down and then just go down through here and determine, okay, do they need to be trained in that? And then then you schedule the training. So we're back over here to there. Okay. So SOPs and instructions have to be done before you can train, because you're going to have to train them in the SOPs,
Correct.
the ones that are relevant to them. So now there's a couple of ways to do training. Actually, there's more than one way to do training. Now, the first one is okay. You can train everybody in everything. You know, you bring them in on a Saturday, bring in some pizza, and you just run through the entire quality system,
Okay.
and everybody's trained. Okay. The other way is that you break up the training. You figure who's got to be trained in what, put them together as a group, and run the training.
Okay.
The third one is basically you have them read the procedure, have them sign off on it that they've read it and they understand it, and then you determine, you base whether they really understood it based on the competence.
Okay.
Okay, now
Seems like the first one would probably be probably the easiest.
yeah, a lot of companies do it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, we've done stuff like that similar to with some of the companies that require us to do a training and fill out a form saying that we attended and we understood and whatnot.
Yeah, and you have a training attendance records, TAR. It's in the forms directory. So
Okay.
you can just say company wide quality management system training on this date. Here's the attendees.
Okay.
Okay, so when do you think that could happen?
It would happen, like you said, after the SOPs are created, right? So,
Right.
and yeah, that could be a 2-week as well. It'll probably end up being kind of like you said, on an off day. The nice thing is, the guys are
Yeah.
working 410, so we can, yeah,
Oh,
Ha-
okay.
yeah, come in on a Friday and not eat up any of their weekend.
Yeah. It's a good idea. Okay, so once everybody's trained in it, we release the management system to the facility. Everybody has to be working in accordance with the management system. If you're not, you'll be taken out back and shot.
Yeah.
So,
I'll make sure to let them know that you said
you
that.
think I'm kidding?
No, I mean it's either them or us,
In
right?
China, I can tell you, I have friends that audited in China, and I can tell you, you screw up there, you disappear. Okay, so that's just ongoing from that point on. Okay, so release the system. Okay, that's on that date, and then implement the system and gather objective. That's just basically working with the system.
Yep.
Okay, so that's just ongoing from that point on. Now, the next thing is you have to do an internal audit. Okay, you're a trained auditor.
No.
Okay.
I have an idea of how to do it, but nah, not any
Well,
formal training.
I'm going to train you to be an auditor. I have been training auditors for over 30 years.
Okay.
And I will make you armed and dangerous.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. I'm going to teach you how to audit the correct way. Not the way a lot of people audit, where they just take the standard and say, "Are we doing this? Yeah, we're doing that." And, okay. Because one of the things, have you ever read Dune?
No, I seen the movies.
Oh, forget the movies. Read the books.
That's
yeah, much better.
Everything typically is that way.
Yeah, well, you know who the Bene Gesserit are.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, Mother Superior of the Bene Gesserit had a saying, and I think it's in it's in the Sisterhood, the book The Sisterhood, and she says, "Real boats rock." Okay. And that's usually it's a red flag to any auditor who comes in and says, "Let's see your internal audit," and everything is fine and dandy. And it's immediately a red flag because real boats rock.
Right.
So we're going to teach you. We are going to beat this system like a rented mule.
So we're gonna rock the boat.
Yep. We're
Okay.
going to find every little thing that's wrong with this system because you should always be harder on yourself than the cert body auditor is going to be on you. That way, he'll never catch you flat footed. He'll never catch you with something you didn't know about already and you haven't reacted to. The only thing he's going to be able to catch is those little slips that happen.
Yeah.
So-
At least those are minor.
Yeah. So typically we say that, and I think Perry actually has a requirement, 6 weeks. Says the system has to be in operation 6 weeks before you can actually do an internal audit. So with the training, and what I would suggest, how many people do you have?
On the floor, we have. Do you want on the floor producing or as well as front office staff?
All people.
All people.
Everybody.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
people. We are 13, 13,
Okay.
14. Yeah.
I would say, besides yourself, pick 2 other people to do audits.
Yeah. Yeah. Typically, we have me and the quality control guy and the CEO as well. Kind of just overlooking all those things
Okay.
as of right now, at least. Yeah.
Okay. So what's going to happen is I'm going to train you, and you'll get a certificate of training and competence, and then say that the training is 1 day, and then actually the training can go on for a while because the audit is actually part of the training.
Okay.
So you're not trained auditors, and you have to go through the training, and it's your first time. I say, schedule that for 3 weeks. Again, like I said, you're not trained auditors. It's going to take you time to get into the swing of it. Once you've done the first audit, well, there's 2 things that are going to happen. Number one, when you go through that internal audit, I'll guarantee you will know this system inside out and backwards.
Yeah.
You'll know everything about this system. Okay. The other thing is once you've audited the system, you're going to know where all the problems are, and we're going to write non-conformances on them, and we're going to fix them.
Okay.
So it's going to take you some time, and once you've done the first one, the second one gets a little faster, the next one gets a little faster. I mean, if it was me coming in, I could blast through that audit in 2 days, no problem. I've done it many times. If you haven't ever done it before, it takes some time. So that's why I say figure 3 weeks at the outside.
Okay.
Okay. So the next thing is complete the corrective action. So that's going to run kind of simultaneously here. So we're going to say we're going to give it 3 weeks to do all the corrective actions and get them closed. Okay. The next thing is to conduct the management review session. We always do management review after the audit because the audit is a major input into the management review. Management review is going to take you a couple hours to do. It's not that big a thing. You've got a form for it. It's basically a tick list.
All right.
Okay. Are we doing this? Are we doing that? Yeah. Okay. Okay. And the next thing is implement the actions from the management review. Additional training, or we got to fix something or whatever. So we'll add a couple of weeks on for that because it's going to run with this management review meeting, and give yourself a little extra time if there's anything that we really need to address. Okay, so audit. Have you been in contact with Perry Johnson?
No, not yet.
Good. Glad to hear it. Because we don't want to contact the cert body until we know where we stand.
Right.
And the only way we know that is from the internal audit. So we call we do the internal audit, and we say, okay, we know where we're at. We'll be ready in a week. We'll be ready in 2 weeks. We'll be ready in a month. Okay. Then we call Perry Johnson, and we say, okay, we're ready right now. How soon can you get somebody in? And they go, well, we're kind of busy, and it'll probably be a couple of months. And you can say, okay, thank you very much. I will call the next cert body on my list. It's almost magical, mystical even. They'll go, wait a minute. I think we might be able to fit you in. It's amazing how it happens. It's like walking away from a used car dealer. So the problem with the cert bodies is they have a real bad tendency, and it's not just Perry, it's every one of them. They have a bad habit of forgetting they are a supplier, they're not a customer.
Right.
Because they treat you like they're a customer. They're not. Okay. You're going to work on our time frame. We're not going to work on yours, because if you contact them before that, they're going to schedule you for a date that's convenient for them. And it may not be convenient for you, or you may not be ready. So
Right.
I say, wait until the internal audit's done. You don't even have to do all the corrective actions don't even have to be closed, because at that point you'll know where you're at. And
Right.
you can call them up and say, okay, we'll be ready in 2 weeks. How soon can you get somebody in?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's the next section on here is all the cert body stuff. And until you actually sign with the cert body, then you'll fill that in at that point when they schedule you. So, but let's go through it. I'll tell you how that works. So we figure you should be ready for your audit. Towards the end of December. If everything goes as planned.
Okay.
Okay. So the first thing they're going to do is they're going to schedule you for a stage 1 audit or a stage 1 assessment. Or what they call a readiness review. And it's basically audit light. They're coming in to look at the system. It's kind of an ex officio audit. And they're going to come in, they're going to audit, and they're going to focus in on areas where they know there typically are problems, like control of non-conforming material. That's what they will focus in on. Calibration is another one they will focus in. So if they get a warm, fuzzy feeling at that point, then they will pass you on to the next section, which is the stage 2. So from that first stage 1 assessment, if they find anything that throws up a red flag to them,
they're probably not going to continue.
No, not actually. What they're going to do is they're going to tell you, we found something. Okay, they'll list them out, their findings. Okay, this is what we found. It's just to tell you, here's something you need to pay attention to. You might want to go back and punch it up or something like that. So they're going to give you an opportunity to correct it before they actually have the stage 1 audit. That's exactly what the stage 1 or the stage 2 audit. That's exactly what the stage 1 audit is supposed to be for, is to say, okay, other than some minor things here and there, does the system look like it's working? Does it look like it's functioning? Is there enough objective evidence there to actually do an audit?
Correct.
Okay, so what they'll do is they'll list, they're called AOCs, areas of concern. Okay, it's just, could be better. You might want to pay attention to it, stuff like that. Now, typically, you don't have to answer an AOC because, again, the audit's kind of ex officio. So some cert bodies actually want you to answer the AOCs. I don't remember if Perry does or not.
Okay.
Right off the top of my head, I don't remember if they do or not. Once they do that, they're going to schedule you for the stage 2 audit. And that's where they come in and they really go through the system. It's usually longer. Well, it's always longer than the stage 1 audit because they're digging deeper. They're looking into more records. They're interviewing more people and stuff like that.
Okay.
And depending on the size of the organization, then there's a schedule that they have that ISO puts out that says you have to have this many days on, on site doing an audit. Well, they do a combination now, off site and on site. So they'll say you have to have X number of audit days.
Okay.
That could be anywhere from 3 to 5 to, if you're a bigger organization, it could go up to, 20. Like they did with Delphi.
The records that they're going to be looking for will be the records kept within the
Yes.
only office, or would that be also
It'll
all
be
of the-
any records connected with the management system. So like your inventory,
Okay,
which is
so
not
like
on
when
the
we
portal, but it's mentioned in there.
right. Okay. Okay.
Your
Okay.
POs and stuff like that.
Yep.
Okay. So they'll look at anything that's connected. Now, they can't go back any farther than the management system. So whatever
From when
the
it was
date
rolled
is,
out.
whatever the date is on the management system as far as the release date. So let's take a look and see what we got on that. Let's go ahead and close that. See, this is what I did. I did just what Kim usually yells at me for. I pulled that up and started writing on it. I'm going to show you a little trick. It's a good thing that happened. Okay, I'll come over here. Oh, there's the TMC. You see, it's version 2. Okay, or version 3 now. Okay, so if I click on that, it's going to say, okay, yeah, I edited it. Dummy me, I edited it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here. I'll click on these 3 buttons. I'm going to say restore it. So now it says it was restored. It was restored back to that date. Okay. So now when I open it back up, it's a blank document again.
There you go.
So if I wanted to save that, at that point, I could have done a save as and put it in the file and then gone back to the blank and restored it back.
Okay.
So a nice thing is you can restore this thing to any point in time in the past. So that's just a trick. Okay, let's get back over here to the rooms to here. Pull up the manual because it's going to be the same as all the documents in there, and see what our release date is on this. Okay. So we have our release date was yesterday. Okay. You may want to roll that up.
Yeah.
Make it like 10-1 or
Yeah, and I was
Make it
thinking,
10-1.
it's like, looking at it right now, I think with everything else that I still have to do, and I think 10-1 would be a good date to, roll out and do all that good stuff.
Yeah. So what you have to do is you'll have to go into all the procedures and the manual and change that release date to 10-1.
Okay.
So the reason for that is that whenever that they can go back to records to any date up to that release date. They can't go to anything prior to that date.
Okay.
Because the management system wasn't in place at that time. So, and we'll cover that in the internal auditor training. That if they pull a record out and they say, well, this isn't right or whatever, and you look at the date and it precedes the release date of the system, that's basically what you tell them.
Yeah.
That's before the before the system was in place. You can't count that as part of the audit. It's outside of the scope.
Okay.
So they come in, they do the stage 2 audit, and that one they're going to, if they find anything wrong, which they shouldn't, they'll issue a notice of nonconformance. And you have 30 to 60 days to correct that, do a corrective action on it. And don't wait.
Yeah.
Get
Jump
on
on
them
it right away.
Yeah. Because the sooner you get those in, what's going to happen? The auditor does not grant you certification. That's up to the board. But he will tell you at the end of the audit, he'll say something like, well, you screwed up completely and I'm going to have to come back, and, which doesn't happen very often unless you really screw up bad. Like your calibration system falls apart. That's an audit stopper,
Yeah.
because then you can't guarantee anything going out. So it rarely happens. But he'll say something like, okay, pending my acceptance of your corrective action, I'm going to recommend you for certification. Or I didn't find anything, I'm going to recommend you for certification. So he does his audit report. If there's any nonconformances, you answer those. He accepts them. He sends that whole package along with his recommendation to the board. Now, the board is pretty much a rubber stamp. If the auditor says everything is good, usually the board will take it, unless something really strange happens in the meantime. Like you end up on 60 Minutes for doing something really stupid, which has happened.
Right.
Yeah, we had a client that we stopped working with them because we found out what they were doing. They were recycling, and basically what they were doing is they were charging to recycle CRTs, the old cathode ray tubes from computers and televisions and stuff like that. And what they were doing is they would rent a warehouse, and they would fill it up with these CRTs, and then they would abandon it.
Oh, wow.
And they had them all over the place. And anyway, they ended up on 60 Minutes. So the auditor comes out and he audits them and says, okay, everything looks good. The corrective actions, I accepted them and everything. And over the weekend, they end up on 60 Minutes. And the board comes back to the auditor and goes, did you see 60 Minutes this weekend? You sure you want to make that recommendation?
Right.
So like I said, it would have to be something really odd to happen like that for them to not take what the auditor says.
Okay.
So at that point, what they'll do is once they accept your corrective actions, it goes to the board. That usually happens within a week. And then they will send you a notice by email, typically to whoever the person is, which I assume is going to be you. That was the lead on the audit. And notify them that you've been approved for certification, send you the certification in a PDF, and you put it up on the wall and party.
Right. Yeah, that'll be the day.
I tell you what, it's always good to have something after that, because I mean, everybody works really hard at this,
Right.
put a lot of time, and it's a very stressful period. Those audits are very stressful. And yeah, people deserve, everybody deserves a break after that.
Right.
So let's get back to
Okay. For the AIM program timeline, I went ahead and updated then the rollout for the 10-1.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then over here is the details. You can fill these details in as far as how many APs do you have to do, RBACs and stuff like that. It's just a way for you to keep track of it.
Okay. MOTG, you said we were gonna do that.
Yeah. Okay. In your management review. So let's go over here to the let's go from the manual. Okay. Part of the management review, as required by 9001 and AS 9100, you have a management review. As part of that management review, you have a form here, this MRMM. This is your management review meeting minutes. This is where you track the information from the management review. You can see it's basically just a tick list.
Right.
Here's all the people that were there. We went through this. Nothing's needed. Here's what we need to do for whatever. These are all the things that says you have to cover in there. Part of the things that you have to cover is what they call the measurable objectives and goals. Now, we put targets in there because when Jerry Bowen and I first developed this, way back in the 1980s, we said it has to be measurable objectives, targets, and goals. Because a goal may be a utopian idea. You may never get there. But a
Right.
target is something that you can actually hit.
Right.
So that's where that MOTG comes in. You have to pick certain things that you're going to measure in the management system, and it can also include business things like increasing business, getting new customers, stuff like that. But you can see here, there's some suggestions here. So like number of CARs issued for customer complaints. Well, the goal is 0. Okay. The target is 50% reduction over the next year. Okay, so you'll figure out what those are for your system, and then in the MOTG, oh, that's going to the file.
Oh, it's not there yet. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still in the forms. So let me get back to the forms, tools, and workbooks. Okay, there's the MOTG. Whatever you pick has to be measurable somehow. Okay, now there's enough room for 10 measurable objectives. Keep it simple.
Right.
3, 4.
I think as
At
of
the
right now, yeah, we
outside,
have
maybe
4.
5. Yeah, and then you put the objective in here, and then there's MOTG1 here. Here's our measurable objective target, and here's our goal. So like the CIRs for customer complaints. Target is 50% reduction. Our goal was 0. Okay. Then we got just basically an explanation of what those all mean. And then we come down here. Here's all the people that are going to work on it. And over here is, what is this going to accomplish? Okay. Management system improvement, quality improvement, environmental improvement, health and safety, legal, reduction, elimination of risk, reduction, elimination of hazards, whatever. Okay. Okay. And then down here, how are we going to track this? Are we going to use real numbers? Are we going to use percentages? Are we going to go like really crazy and do things like parts per million or statistical charting like X-bar and R charts, P, NPC, and U charting, histograms, null hypothesis testing, whatever. However, what are we going to do to measure that? So then you're going to list down here, what are your actions for achieving that goal or achieving that target? So this is the action. Who's ultimately responsible for it? Are there any resources needed for it? What was the promise date that we wanted to have it, or when we started it? When we wanted to have it done and when we actually did get it done.
Okay.
Now, I would say, I'm basically most of the cases you're not going to have data to go back to. Okay, depending on what you pick, like, well, like your one of them are number of CARs issued from internal audits, or number of nonconformances issued by certification body. You're not going to have any. You have nothing to go back to.
Right.
So, in this case, or in that case, in whatever case, if I can find it, there it is. Your action is going to be to collect data for the next year, and then make a determination on additional actions. That's your action. Now, if you have complaints from customers, you may go back and look at some of the complaints from past and look at that, or you can just go with what when the management system was released and say, okay, we have to collect data for the next year to make a determination. What is that 50% reduction going to be? Is it going to be 2? Is it going to be 4? Whatever. So your initial MOTGs are going to be very simple.
Right.
And then each time you have a management review every year, you're just going to come back and you're going to revisit these. You're going to say, okay, did we hit our target or not? If we hit our target, then we need to pick a new target until we actually reach the goal.
Okay.
So that's all there is to it.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions, observations, rude or snide comments, anything?
Yeah, we went through a lot.
Yeah.
I think
Good thing we recorded it.
Yeah, right. No, when I was doing the RBAC, I was referring back to the recordings and kind of was playing them in the background as I was going through and filling stuff out, just making sure I got everything correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have to gather. The nice thing, what really helps us out is we already had a QMS in place, so it kind of seems like we just have to go back through and pull out basically certain procedures or SOPs. And then just basically drop them into our resource folder. That way we can refer back to them there.
Well, you just drop them into your SOP folder.
Or yeah, the SOP folder. And then from there, yeah, if the rollout date is going to be 10/1, there's a couple things we do need to do on our end as far as, I know for a fact, we just did our calibration of all of our hand tools and whatnot, but the master gauges did fall out of calibration mid last month.
Yeah.
And so we got to send those back out. CMM is also out of calibration as of the beginning of this month. So we got to call them and schedule that. But these are all things that we still have to do. Yeah.
You got weight scales?
No scales.
You don't weigh anything? I mean, even in shipping?
Sorry, yeah. Weight scales, yeah, we got one. Now that I think about it, yeah, we got one.
Yeah, that has to be calibrated. Okay. A word about scales. They're not as easy as everybody thinks they are. There is a 400-page manual called the NIST Handbook 44, which tells you how to calibrate scales. I mean, it's that complex. Everybody thinks, well, I just throw some weights on there and see if it is. No, it's not that. Depending on the size of it, you have to do it in quadrants, you have to do it on an ascending scale, and you have to do it on a descending scale. And yeah, it's pretty complicated.
Okay.
Make sure you get somebody in there who is ISO 17025 certified to do scales.
Okay, I was gonna say because our scale is small. It's it's pretty small. It's like a not even a 2-foot square grid that we set stuff on.
That would be quadrants.
Yeah. Would we be able to ship that out to a somewhere that could qualify? And then have them do that, or?
Well, here's what's going to happen. If you ship it out and they certify it, when you get it shipped back in, you're going to have to verify it, which means you're going to have a certified set of weights to be able to verify it. It's much better to have them come in and do it where it normally sits.
Okay, yeah, because the scale is mobile. It's not at a dedicated place. It just sits at the shipping table.
Yeah, but if let's say if you ship it out, like if you shipped it to like A.A. Jansen or somebody, in shipping, when it's being return shipped, things could happen to it.
Right.
Scales tend to be a little tricky, as far as keeping in calibration.
Okay.
So it's just, I mean, you do what you need to do, but
It would probably be best then to have someone come out.
From the lab guy's perspective, and from a guy who's certified laboratories for scales, yeah, I would have them come out and do it.
Okay. But yeah, I think the 10-1 day for the rollout would be a pretty good, achievable, date.
Yeah.
And then from there it would just be gathering data and all that. But at least by then I can gather everything else that I need to finalize the management system. Do I need to go through and because I noticed too in a lot of forms, they also kind of have that title where it says, blank is in charge of this procedure, this step or whatever.
Yeah, you do need to go through those and
assign.
fill in those.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And then look for anything that's highlighted in yellow. That we might need information in there. I don't think there was anything other than what we've already covered. But
Okay.
Check it anyway.
Yeah.
Fix the spelling mistakes.
Yeah.
The and the ins and the as's.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can do that. And then I think by 10-1 I should be able to get all that done. Because the nice thing is we're busy, but we're busy to where I'm not busy. And when I get busy, then we're very busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're looking at getting certified in the first quarter of next year.
Yeah.
Are going to meet your timeline?
Yeah. That's fine.
Okay, so this basically concludes the formal part of the project.
Okay.
Doesn't mean we're done with you.
Right.
We're going to stick with you until you get that certificate on the wall. If the auditor finds something in the system that he doesn't like the way that we wrote it, we fix it.
Okay.
There's no charge for that. We fix it. We screwed it up. We fix it.
Okay.
And if you get stuck on anything in the meantime, give me a shout. That's what I'm here for. Once you've rolled this out and you're getting close to that 6-week period, give me a call and we'll schedule the internal auditor training.
Okay. Yeah, you
like
said,
I said, I will make you armed and dangerous. You'll know just as much as the cert body auditor when I get done with you.
Oh, geez. You said the internal audit becomes a part of the package, correct? Like the audit training is part of. Yeah. Okay.
Well, it's a bonus. We don't put it. It's not on the formal estimate, but we do it as a courtesy because I've been training auditors for, like I said, 30 some years, and it's just, I would rather you be trained correctly. I've seen some of the training out there and pardon me, but the training is shit. I would rather you know how to do a correct audit and know what your rights are as an auditee when the certification body auditor comes in.
Okay. Okay, and then as far as I know in part too, there was a mention of free extension. I take it we're probably not going to have to use that then by the looks of everything.
No, no. As
Yeah.
far as everything that was on the contract, we've completed everything on the contract. Now it's just, if you have a problem, give me a call.
Okay.
So, like I said, we're not abandoning you.
Right. Right.
Not like a lot of consultants do. We're gonna stick right there with you.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I will get working on this. If I get stuck on anything, I will definitely reach out, kind of like I did. And then typically I'll try and call first just because, calling is the
Yeah.
most direct way of contact. But if not, if you don't answer, you're busy or whatever, I get it. I'll send an email following the call.
Okay. Okay. And like I say, if you do something, you just want me to take a look at it, just give me a shout. Let me know what you want to look at. I'll be more than happy to do that.
Okay, Mark. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you have fun.
Yeah. I'll try not to have too much fun.
And then once the hey, let me stop the recording.